Sorry, I was not audible from last. So what I covered in the last session, we have covered the wait. Okay, you are not audible. Am I audible now? Am I audible now? Okay, fine. So in this session, the the last session which we have covered the multi-user redundancy, and the thing is for the today, uh, I will go for the some basic things of OS. What are the previous unit and how we can create the virtual machine in the AWS. So in the previous session we have created in the virtual box in our local, but if we want to provision in the cloud, so what kind of thing? So there are some prerequisite which is different from the local and the cloud world. So that I am coming to today. Uh, First prerequisite is we need the image, the OS image, the AMI. In the AWS is called AMI, Amazon Machine Image. The voice is echo. Okay. Uh, Sorry. The AWS AMI we need. And second thing is we have to select some configuration, like how many RAM, how much RAM you want, how many cores of CPU you want. So in the AWS they have created the this call in the AWS the VM called is like a instance. VM called instance. So and the service which give us the capability to run the that called the EC2. So in the general world we called is like a we don't call the VM, we call the EC2 instance. So EC2 instance nothing, it's just a virtual machine, the computing resources uh, provided by the AWS. So EC2 is the if I go, it's the elastic compute service. If I go with the name, it's a compute service. What the compute service elastic means? Elastic means like you have the flexibility to change your resources types. You have multiple type of so you can increase it any time, then you can decrease it. So it depend upon the application and other prerequisites also, but they have that capability, so you can change the configuration. That called the elastic compute means like they are giving some computing resources, so you can compute use the computation power of AWS. Yeah, so they have for the configuration, this called is AMI first request, and second is configuration. They called is a instance type. Instance type. So there they have a multiple series of categories. So they gave some name like we have a C series, C2 series, T series, T2 series, and T3. So it's dependent on like how is the compute specific. Like in this series, they will give you the more computation about like they will give you more CPU as compared to RAM. So here they will give only for testing kind of thing. They give only one CPU, one core CPU, and 1 gigs of RAM. So they have multiple. Also in this series, they have types other in the if I talk about T every series they have something kind of T2 nano, nanotype, T2 dot micro, T2 dot large, medium. So they have this kind of. So you have to select your configuration, what you need for launching. And the thing is, if you know mm, the AWS resources which we have, they are in the uh, remote server. We don't. It's not like we are running AWS cloud in my our local. It's uh, established in there in India. It is on Mumbai. Isn't it's called AP South One. It's called the AP South One. So basically, all the VMs and all the things, resources which we are providing, it's creating here only. But we are in the internet, like we are in the internet world. The we called is like a public user. So we need one connectivity with this. So we need some network, and we are using some network. So what the thing? Uh, we have to use some networking. So they provide uh, one service called VPC. VPC is a service which provided by the AWS. They give us the networking capability. It's called as a NAS. What is it? Network as a service. Yeah, and all the things we are creating the infra. So it's inside the IaaS is infrastructure as a service. So we need, and if you know you are in the remote, so every system, every OS have, if you are currently, they have some security things also, because you are in the public world. So you need some, so they need one firewall. In the local system you have firewall. We call it in the Linux, we call it as a firewall D. It's why we call it, we will see in the upcoming session. Firewall in, but in the AWS they don't have a like firewall. In the OS level firewall, it's already disabled. They have their own service which called a security group. So you can think about like security gives the same like a firewall. They give us the capability from which IPA what we want to connect, you or which range of IP you want to connect to from a specific is range of IPs you want to connect or a specific port. The port things we will go once we go in the uh, more deeper session when we call our talk about the servers and this thing. I will let you know what are the ports means, how we can use, which port are using for which thing. So then we have this, and we have covered in the basic hardware configuration, the RAM and CPU by the instant type. But you have to attach some hard disk where your OS is. So for that they have one hard disk is nothing. It's a storage. So if I tell you, it's a storage. So we have a storage kind service also. In the storage, we have a three kind of storage. One is block storage. It's like something like our normal hard disk. One is called file storage. It's if you know about the FTP server, like so. So they have the file storage, and one is the object storage. So object storage you can say about your Google Drive. Like every you object have a unique URL and you can download. the object you can set the path or so that's the object transfer. So they have, so all the three types. For the block storage they have the EBS, elastic block service, elastic block storage, elastic block service. And for the AWS have EFS service. And for the object storage they have the S3. So all the kind of static content which you have many websites are using for storing the static content, like if they have some kind of pictures in their application. So most of the organization are using S3 to store their static content, like their pictures, or they have some data, they have some backups. Mostly they are using. So we need some storage as a hard disk. So we are using the EBS. So basically, if I tell you, if you want to run any VM, if you want to run any VM on the inside the AWS, what you need? You need first EC2 service. In the EC2 service, you can create the instance. You can create the instance, and inside the instance, inside the instance, if I go, you have uh, you have to use first instance configuration. Other service which you need VPC for network connectivity. You need security group, and you need EBS. So if you are provisioning one VM, so the all prerequisite is this. So I am not going specific deep dive into this, but I will give you a high level idea, and I will tell you like how you can provision this by the AWS, and then we will go on the layers, and I will give you a idea how you can create the function in the Python. So we can do the same thing from the our. So for that, I can go my AWS console. So this is my AWS. I have created the new account. So if you are new in the AWS, so you will see this kind of out. So here is your services. If you go, there's all the services console home. You can click here, and if I go in the EC2, so just search it here. Virtual servers on the cloud. They have some description. So it's the web, and this kind of dashboard you will see. This is the dashboard for how many instances are running, how many instances you have. So what they have, they will create a default security group, default VPC for us, because many times we need the public connectivity, the default things. So they will tell you here it is showing you default VPC is this, and you don't have any elastic IP. I will tell you what's the elastic IP, what load balances, snapshots, KPI, dedicated host. Volume is your EBS. So currently we don't have any instance. So what I am doing, I am creating one this instance. And how you can create? You can create launch instances. And one thing more, apart from this, for the login thing, once it will provision for the login, you need some user and pass. Otherwise, so in the AWS we don't have user password thing. We have the we call the access key. It's not the same thing. It's we called in the AWS as a service key pair. So what the key pair? It's like if you know about the SSH, I will tell you what the SSH is. So in the SSH we have some SSH key, and from that key we will connect to the our OS. So if you want to log in, you have to create a key. So I am just giving you. So how you can create? Once you go on this page, click on the launch instances. You will see this way. You have uploaded new experience. Output folder experience. So this is the new dashboard. Here you can set the number of instance, how many instances you want to create in one. Okay, and which are the email. So if you see, you can set the name. I am giving some AWS training EC2 AS10s. So something kind of this name again, and then we have to choose the this AMI, which AMI we need. So you can choose anyone. If you go, it will tell you what are the AMIs. Like it will tell you free trial eligible free trial. So what AWS does for the testing, uh, for the learning purpose and testing, they have given you some free eligibility, free trial eligibility. So in that they have the EC2 750 hours for a month for 1 year. They have given you, and it's not like you can use any use. They have some selected AMIs. They have AMIs, so you can use it as a free trial, and then they have the instance type also. Yeah. They have the instance type. So instance type is which is free. I think that was the T2 micro we have. If you use other, so they will charge you, and this is the thing. So you can go in the browse. You can see which are the image there. So you can use, you also can use Mac, but it's chargeable, and Amazon Linux. So Mac you can use the Red Linux, you can use SUSE OS, Ubuntu, Microsoft servers, Windows servers. You have Debian, lot of OS you have. If you see, so this is the quick start AMI. In the quick start, they have commonly used what is it? If you go in the marketplace, so they have approx 6,000 AMIs. So you don't have EMI. I will let you know how you can create the EMI here also. The community EMI, which the community people is creating. And if I go in the common use, so I will give you, let me give you some simple name. This is instance. They will let you know which are the things that are free eligibility. So Amazon Linux do this. Free trial is your first including here. First includes 450 hours for T2 micro. T T2 micro for hours. T2 micro for T3 micro. The reasons in which T2 micro is unavailable. So if you don't have a T2 micro in your region, so you can use a T3 micro. But if it's present, then it will charge. Instance uses free time as per month. 30 GB of EBS. So if you are creating 30 GB of EBS volume, it is free, and 1 GB of snapshot if we are creating 100 GPU of pen in between. So it's like if you are downloading and uploading data more than 100 gigs in a month, so it will charge you. So it's not like you are creating each instance and you are putting data, lot of data there. So if you are putting a more than 100 gigs, they will charge you. And then you can select the, so how generally we use in here, this the family of the instance is T2, one VPC, one core CPU you have, 1 gigs of RAM you have, and the pricing is this. For the Windows, it's having a different pricing, and for the Linux, they have the different pricing. Okay, so if you don't have a free trial, so they will charge you 0.012 USD per hour. So if you want, you can run it. It's not. And then this is the key pair which I have talked. It's a key. So I am giving the name AWS training key, and then I'm creating the key, the simple thing. So it's once you will get, it will download automatically, because after that I am not specify anything here. The VPC is already, I am, the SSS is creating a new security group, and it's anywhere we can SSH. SSH is like the remote access from the SSH. So it's allow SSH. You can allow the HTTP S traffic, HTTP traffic uh, from the internet, and you can, if you want, you can select custom my IP. So if I select this now, this is my public IP. How I can tell you? You can, what is my IP? Before this one. So it's just fetching my IP. See, this one is my IP, and it's fetching the same. Sorry, it's fetching the same. So if I select on this, so I only can connect. Okay. Also, if you have this key, you can also connect, but I don't. I will not say it. And here you can give the how much RAM. I'm giving the 10 gigs. It's a root volume, where root volume is your like main disk where your OS is, and they have a type of storage. Like if you know about the SSD, they have the multiple type of SSD. It depend upon the IOPS, like how much read write capacity you have. Also you have a STD. So it depends upon you how much type of you. Uh, it clearly mentioned the filter can use 30 GB of EBS, a general purpose IoT or magnetic storage. So I am in the general purpose SSD, and if I want, I can use this one also. And the other things, if I want to create, I will know. I am not going to this thing. You, if you want, you can. Here if we want to run some script directly, or the boot time of OS, so we can give the script here. I will tell you how you can give it and how you can. And when we call tap out the server, we know how to configure any server. So I will tell you how you can give the script here and pass launch the instance. So what I'm doing, click on the launch instance, and it will launch. So it's like it will show you something like this. See, it's a EC2 instance. If I tell you, it's pending. Why it's pending? It will take some time. By the meantime, what they are doing, they are going on AWS here. They are creating a one version. They are installing all the complete OS on inside that. They are doing all the networking things which we have said. All the security groups they will set. They will put on that VPC. they will assign some IP, and after that they will tell you like it's running, but it's not a foolproof. They are initializing the checks, so they are checking if this instance is currently running perfect or not. So now you see, you will get the public IP, and then, so if I tell you this, so connect OS, I can connect. We have multiple option. We can connect to that directly from instance connect, session manager. We have SSS client. We have console. We have. So for the console, we need uh, the port number, serial port. We have to give something like this. So what I can do, I can use my key, this key, but I am not using my key here. I can. I am not using the SSS also here because I don't. I am not attaching the permissions of SSH. SSM, sorry, it's not the SSH. It's SSM. It's a session manager. We can connect from here. This is a simple way. And how I can tell you, like I have created it. So it's in a establishing selection because I think it's, yeah. So you will see this kind of output. And how I can tell you this is my system. So let me install some. Is there something like I am just installing a simple web server? I will tell you how you can. By the meantime, you can just remember this command if you want to do. Otherwise, I'm telling you because this OS is managing by us, so you can go and with this public IP and connect. And now I'm writing a simple HTML code. Sorry. Wait. That's the Linux OS. So, oh god, software is connecting. I have to do the manual thing. See, if you go on this page, so you will see this output, and this is managing by me because I have created this just now. So you can also go with this IP and can check here it's showing not secure because I didn't set the HTTPS, but you will see this kind of output. And like this way you can provision the EC2 instead. But how if we don't want to go on the console, so what is going inside? So you have this so if you are going in the Boto3 EC2, so they have EC2 organization. See, in the EC2 they have the key pair. So how you can create the key pair? It's clearly mentioned here. And I'm not going here that. So for the Proto 3, I have to tell you like what the client, how we can create the client, and these are the things. So I'm just giving you an example how you can do it. So they have a create KPI, create KPI. So what? Let's go on. This is the node. Create images. Create KPI function. Yeah. So see, some kind of thing. This thing we have said that we have given the name. Uh, the RSA. Let me go on the KPI page. So you can see as here. If I create one KPI, so it's asking for the name. It's asking for the name, and then here it's dry run, true and false. It's and like if you want to do only dry run or you want to create, then type key type RSA or this ET25519. So this was the mention here. Type of format which you want PPK and PEM. So it's like it's mentioned there, and tag the specific tag specifications. So they have the tags. You can add the key value tags here. It's using for the managing the bigger kind of environment by giving the specific kind of tags. So the same thing which you are passing, you can give it from here, and you can use this function to create. I will let you know how you can create the client. So by the meantime, you can do it here and use this instance. And if I open, let me show you how you can connect this instance uh, from your local. So let me get the public IP, and I am going my top command line. I am on the downloads. I am using SSH -I. And if you don't know other steps, no need to worry. You can go in there. It will show you. Open the SSH client. This thing. So also they given you some this command. You can directly copy this command. And you can directly. It's the first time it will ask you for the yes. Just give yes. And if you see here, EC2 instance, this IP 172.31 and 47, and if you go here, this one is the same. So this is the private IP which you are seeing here. Also, it might be you are not able to connect by your Windows, so you need the SSH client, and one of the good SSH client is Putty download. You can search in there, and this is the so you can choose this. Go to the Windows installer. This one. Click on the installer. They will install the some 5 MB of file. You can double click on this. So after it's installed, yeah, they will come. You can install it simple way. Next, then install. I've already installed. So after that, you can use the SSH from your local. Also, you will have some putty application. Putty. Yeah, this one. So after that, you have this application. So you also can connect from here. How you can connect it, I will tell you. When we go on the SSH, also, if you want, you can connect from here also. So if you connect here, click here, they will tell you, give you, okay, inside unreachable. I think I have some network connectivity issue. So we can check. It's not a big deal. You can click here and they will give you. Right now, I think it's down. Uh, they have some maintenance thing. I think right now going on. But like this way, you can create the instance in your system. Just create it and use it. Also, you can select this and see the other configuration. We have other things also, like we have some security thing. So we have rules and other things. The IAM rule, we are not researching right now any rule, but we can attach the security group which we have created. We have read this rule. This one for the HTTP, this one for the HTTPS, this one for the SSH. So by the SSH we are connecting here because we allowed this. If we delete this rule, we can't able to tell. And outbound rule like is all, so we can go outside with the all of the ports. So this is the thing. This also you have this public IP network, subnet, network interface. So these are the network. The storage, see, volume. We have created the ABS volume, and if you go here, the volume ID is this. We have created the status check is like there are two checks: system checks, capability is passed, instance check is passed. So you can check if one of might be failed. So you can just report the issue here. You have some monitoring, which how much the CPU utilization you have done. Status checks fails. So this thing here. Also, if you are attaching any tags, you can see from here. I have attached the name. So they have the name and the value is EC2 instance. So like this way you can launch the EC2 instance in your um, we, AWS account. In the next session, I will tell you how you can do these things with the Photo. In the initial, I will cover the some basics of the Python, and then we will go and launch the EC2 instance via the Boto. So we are moving to the Boto, how you can manage the whole cloud with the Boto. I will show you one by one demo. And also we are doing parallel things in the operating system, the system admin kind of things in the parallel also. So if you have any queries till yet, you can ask. Otherwise, we will see in the next session. By the meantime, you can do the this practical in your system if you want. It is good if you are doing uh, by the training is going on. So if you are any queries, so you can put on the WhatsApp group or our other social media handles, or you can comment on this video. We will try to help you uh, in the better way. So do you have any queries? I think no. Okay, let's start. So we are wrapping up the today's session. We will connect tomorrow at 10 a.m. and we will do the same demo by the Boto, and I will explain you some concept of Python and operating system also. So by the meantime, You can practice this thing. If you have anything, you can put on the group, or if you like this video, the stream, so you can like it, share it with your friends and known ones. By for like, that's all for today. Bye guys.